Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see important questions of thermal science. The course code of thermal science for IGNOU is BEY-001. BSCAEY program BSc Applied Science Energy. ओके ये सेमेस्टर 1 का एक सब्जेक्ट है थर्मल साइंस जो कि इग्नू में पूछा जाता है और मैं यहाँ पे आज आप लोगों को चैप्टर वाइज इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस प्रोवाइड कराऊंगी इस सब्जेक्ट के. ओके तो फर्स्ट चैप्टर से स्टार्ट करते हैं. फर्स्ट हमारा जो ब्लॉक 1 है वो है इंट्रोडक्शन टू थर्मल साइंस और इसमें हमारा पहला यूनिट है फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड डेफिनेशंस. ओके पहला क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज़ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स एंड व्हाई इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट. Why is it important to study it? Second is describe the laws of thermodynamics and their importance. Third is define the terms system, surroundings and boundary in context of thermodynamics. Differentiate between intensive and extensive properties with examples. What is thermodynamics equilibrium and what are the conditions required for it? Second unit is laws of the thermodynamics. What is the first law of thermodynamics and how is it experimentally validated? What are the expressions for the first law of thermodynamics for different types of processes? Constant volume, constant pressure, isothermal, polytropic. What is the Kelvin-Planck statement in the second law of thermodynamics? What is the cellulose statement of the second law of thermodynamics? How does the second law of thermodynamics impact the design and efficiency of heat engines and refrigerators? Block 2 is steam-based systems and heat transfer, in which unit 3 is formation of steam and its properties. First question is explain why water is considered an ideal working fluid in thermal energy conversion systems. Describe the process of superheating steam. What are its advantages? Explain the significance of the saturation temperature in the steam generation process. Differentiate between sensible heat and latent heat in the context of heating water to produce steam. Discuss the importance of Ts temperature entropy and Hs Euler diagrams in thermodynamics. Unit 4 is steam generators. Describe the constructional features of Landshire, Cochrane and Babcock and Wilcock boilers. Differentiate between the fire tube and water tube boilers. Discuss their applications and operational advantages. Explain the significance and functioning of boiler mounting such as safety valves, pressure gauges and water gauges. Discuss the importance of boiler accessories like economizers, superheaters and air preheaters. How do these components enhance boiler efficiency? Fifth is describe the classification of boilers based on fuel type, construction type, application and steam delivery condition. Fifth unit is steam prime movers. First question is explain the working principle of Rankine cycle in a steam power plant. Include key components and their functions in the cycle. What are the effects of pressure and temperature variations on the Rankine cycle efficiency? Discuss with reference to decreasing condenser pressure, increasing boiler pressure and superheating of steam. Compare and contrast the simple Rankine cycle with the Rankine reheat cycle. What are the advantages of incorporating reheating into the Rankine cycle? Describe the concepts of regeneration in the Rankine cycle. How does perfect regeneration influence the cycle's efficiency? Discuss the particular limitation in achieving perfect regeneration. Last question of this unit is explain the operation and significance of steam nozzles in a steam turbine system. Include a discussion on the calculation of exit velocities and the factors influencing nozzle efficiency. ये जितने भी मैं आपको चैप्टर वाइज क्वेश्चंस प्रोवाइड करवा रही हूँ यूनिट वाइज, इन सब के आंसर्स आपको जो आपकी प्रोवाइडेड बुक है इग्नू के द्वारा थर्मल साइंस की, उसमें मिल जाएंगी. ओके, तो आप उस बुक से इनके आंसर्स देख सकते हो. मैं यहाँ पे आपको उस बुक से इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस बता रही हूँ क्योंकि बुक खुद में बहुत बड़ी है, और अगर आप ऊपर से या फिर एग्ज़ाम से कुछ दिन पहले पढ़ने जा रहे हो तो ये सारे क्वेश्चंस आपको पढ़ने चाहिए. ये इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस हैं हर चैप्टर से. Unit 6 is steam condensers. What are the primary components of a steam surface condenser and their functions? Explain the operational advantages to maintain a high vacuum in a steam surface condenser. Compare and contrast direct contact condensers and steam surface condensers. Discuss the various types of cooling towers used in conjunction with steam condensers. Describe the corrosion mechanisms affecting steam condensers and their mitigation strategies. Unit 7 is heat transfer. Describe the principle of the first law of thermodynamics and its mathematical representation. How does this law apply to a closed system undergoing a cyclic process? Explain the difference between isothermal and adiabatic processes. Provide the mathematical equations governing these processes and discuss their implications for work done by or on a gas. What is the significance of the Carnot engine in thermal science? Derive the formula for the efficiency of a Carnot engine and discuss how it is affected by the temperatures of the heat reservoirs. Define the heat transfer and the mechanisms of the conduction, convection, and radiation. Explain how each mechanism contributes to energy transfer in practical applications such as heat exchangers or thermal insulation. Fifth question is, discuss the concept of entropy in thermodynamics. How is entropy change calculated for different processes, and what does it imply about the direction of spontaneous processes in a closed system? Block 3, air-based systems. Unit 8, I think very favorite unit of each and every student because it has very basic concepts and also very basic important questions. So one is explain the Carnot cycle, then discuss the Otto cycle, describe the diesel cycle and its efficiency calculation. What is the Rankine cycle? Discuss the modified Rankine cycle. अगेन यहाँ पे जो डिस्कस द ऑटो साइकिल है ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, बहुत बार पूछा जा चुका है. यूनिट 9, प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ IC engines. Okay, describe the four strokes of a 4-stroke Otto cycle engine and their corresponding piston movements. Explain the differences in ignition method between petrol engines and diesel engines. What is the purpose of the governing mechanisms in an IC engine, and how does the heat and miss method differ from the quantitative method? List and compare the advantages of 2-stroke engines versus 4-stroke engines. Define the following efficiencies in engine performance: indicated thermal efficiency, bark thermal efficiency, and volumetric efficiency. How do they relate to each other? Unit 10, gas turbines. Describe the basic components of a simple gas turbine power plant and their functions. Compare and contrast open cycle and closed cycle gas turbine power plants in terms of their operation and efficiency. Explain the role of compressor in a gas turbine power plant and how it affects the overall performance of a plant. What are the key characteristics and advantages of using natural gas and fuel as fuel in gas turbine power plants? Discuss the impact of compressor and turbine efficiency on the overall performance of a gas turbine power plant. How do factors like isentropic compression and expansion affect performance? Okay, last block, refrigeration systems. Okay, unit 11, refrigeration and air conditioning. Explain the concept and significance of the coefficient of performance COP in refrigeration and air conditioning systems. Describe the historical development of refrigeration. Mention key milestones and inventors who contributed to its evolution. Differentiate between refrigeration and air conditioning. Provide examples where each is used. Discuss the application of air conditioning in industrial settings. Why is it crucial for certain industries? Calculate the refrigeration capacity in terms of refrigeration (TR) if a system removes 36,000 BTU of heat per hour. Explain the steps involved in the calculation. 12th unit is refrigeration cycle. What is refrigeration and how is it defined in the context of the refrigeration cycle? Explain the main components of a simple vapor compression refrigeration system and their functions. Describe the theoretical vapor compression cycle with dry saturated vapor after compression using TS and pH diagrams. What are the effects of varying the suction and discharge pressure on the performance and COP of a vapor compression refrigeration system? Fifth and last question of unit 12 is, how does the reserved Carnot cycle function as a refrigeration system and what are its temperature limitations? Unit 13 is refrigerants. What are the primary differences between primary and secondary refrigerants, and can you provide examples of each? How are refrigerants classified based on their safety considerations, and what are the implications of these classifications? Explain the significance of the critical temperature and pressure of a refrigerant and how these properties affect the performance of a refrigeration system. Describe the American Society of Refrigerating Engineers naming convention for halocarbon refrigerants and provide an example of how a refrigerant is named using this system. Discuss the environmental impacts of refrigerants, including their ozone depletion potential and global warming potential. Why is it important to consider these factors when selecting a refrigerant? Last unit is refrigeration systems. First question is, explain the working principle of a vapor compression refrigeration system. Illustrate your answer with a schematic diagram and a TS diagram. Second, discuss the limitations of the Carnot vapor compression system when using vapor as a refrigerant. Compare dry compression and wet compression within its context. Describe the effect of evaporator pressure and condenser pressure on the performance of a standard vapor compression cycle. Use TS diagrams to support your explanation. What is the significance of the pressure enthalpy diagram in analyzing vapor compression systems? Explain the different regions of the pressure enthalpy diagram with an example. How does superheating of a suction vapor and subcooling of the liquid refrigerant affect the performance of a vapor compression refrigeration system? Discuss the advantages and potential drawbacks of each method. Okay, so this was the last unit, and in total the subject BEY-001 thermal science has 14 units and 4 blocks. From each and every unit I have given 5 important questions, and if you do not wish to complete all of the important questions which I have given in this video, you can also watch a video of this subject thermal science where I have provided 15 important questions for this subject. Okay, otherwise if you want to study this subject very ethically, if very thoroughly, very precisely, and मतलब अच्छे से पढ़ना चाहते हो तो try to go through all of the questions which I have provided here, and I have also made a video of 80 questions which will cover all of the important questions of this subject for semester 1 IGNOU examination BEY thermal science. So all the best for your examinations, guys, and if you do not wish to read this much amount of questions, then you can definitely go through that 15 important questions video. Okay, all the best.